Closing tools. All the professionals have made a decision even when they weren't 100% positive or confident. Use this tool, especially when customers keep insisting, let me come back, let me come back. Always tell them, look, all the professionals, every professional out there have made decisions even when they're doubting their decisions. And tell them, look, the most important thing is making the right decision, making a decision that's going to protect you and your family, making a decision that's not going to leave you at risk. And if there's more pros than cons, you make a decision. Tell them, look, all the professionals are always making decisions every single day. Every single professional out there makes decisions, and every decision may not be the decision that they want to make, but it's the right decision to make. And we're talking in general, business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, executives. I mean, literally, any professional out there will make decisions even when they're doubting or when they still have some concerns, simply because not making a decision is even worse. So if you think about it, if you have to choose making a decision and not making a decision, which one's better? If you don't make a decision, it doesn't make you better. It doesn't help or improve the situation. It makes it worse. So therefore, professionals make decisions because it's better to make a decision, even if it's a 70%, 80%, or even a 90% or a 60% of being positive and confident about making that decision. But making a decision is better because they're moving forward. They're moving forward to the next decision, or they're moving forward and using their time and effort to the next task because everybody has a lot more tools. Just out of curiosity, what do you do for a living? Ask them, ask the customer, what do they do for a living, to see if you could incorporate what they do for a living within this decision making. For instance, I could give you a few examples. Let's say they're a mechanic, okay? They're a mechanic, and you know that's a profession, by the way. Mechanics, that's a very skillful profession because it has a lot to do with computers and a lot of knowledge and parts, and and being able to put the parts together, so and understanding what's wrong. So that's a profession. Another one, let's just use maybe landscaping or construction as another profession. So you're simply going to tell them, look, let's say you're in charge of that group or in charge of that department or in charge of your own, you run your own business and you do this on the side. If you have a client that drops, let's talk about mechanics. If you have a client that drops a vehicle, what would you do? If maybe you know that there's 2-3 parts that have to be fixed, and you know for sure that the client requires that vehicle to be drivable, are you gonna fix it or are you gonna wait and wait? What if you can't get a hold of them? He already told you, go ahead and take care of my car, fix it. I need it. I need it by tomorrow. I want to pick it up tomorrow. So what would he do as a professional? And we're not talking of expensive parts that are going to cost $1,000 or $2,000. Let's talk about some basic parts. Maybe you have an additional 3 parts that are going to cost you $40, $60, $20. So maybe about $80 to $100, $120 more than what you calculated. Are you going to wait and leave the car until you get a confirmation, or you're going to fix it? You're the professional. What would you do? As a professional, you need to make a decision. Are you going to fix the car and have it ready for the client and then tell them, look, there's an additional 3 parts. You keep the invoices, the receipts, and you tell them there's 3 parts that I had to fix. Or are you just going to leave the car there sitting until your client calls you back or until your client shows up? What if your client shows up ready to pick the car and the car's not ready? What are you going to tell him? Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't get a hold of you. He's going to tell you, well, you should have fixed it. How much is the difference? $100? You're going to waste my time for $100? Another 2 days of me waiting simply because you decided not to make a decision? You see how that works? You not making a decision doesn't make you better. All the professionals have to make decisions within their situation. Construction, the same thing. Maybe there's a a contract that they have of, you know, fixing some sort of property, or just doing some remodeling, and there's something additional that they need to fix. Nothing critical, but something additional is going to cost them $100, a couple $100. They're going to have to make a decision. Do we fix it and then ask for the difference, or do we just stop everything, stop the whole project until we get a confirmation? Now, I understand if it's a decision that's going to cost thousands of dollars, then I understand. You know, you got to wait and get a confirmation because it's thousands of dollars. But if it's something that's going to cost a couple bucks, 10, 20, 30, $100, it's not something that you need to go and wait and put everything on hold until you get a confirmation or until you feel 100% confident. You're going to make a decision as a professional. Fix the car, get it ready, then talk to the client. They're going to appreciate that. For the landscaping, construction situation, fix it, repair it, get it done, and then bring it up to your client. So in insurance is the same thing. You need to make a decision as a professional because this is part of your life. This is part of your duties. This is something that if you don't take care of it today, you're gonna have to take care of it eventually. All professionals make decisions. I guarantee you, you make decisions on within your job. You know, within the flexibility that they give you. You're making decisions. You're not asking your supervisor, your manager, or your boss, or whoever's in charge of you. You're not asking them for every single thing. You know, this is not. You're not in a position where you need to ask and confirm. No, this is simple. It's either you want to leave insured, or you want to take a risk. What matters more? Being protected, or taking a risk and being involved in a situation where you're losing a lot more money, you're losing time, you're putting your family at risk, whatever the situation is. What is it going to be? Are you going to leave with insurance, save money, or you're going to keep paying the same thing? I mean, it's pretty basic. I understand it may not be exactly what you wanted to, but hey, this is the right decision for you to make. I guarantee you 95% of my clients, over 90% of my clients leave satisfied simply because as a professional, I take my job serious and I do the best to advise every single customer of the decision to make. So once again, make a decision. All the professionals make decisions, and then try to incorporate that concept into whatever they do. It doesn't matter what they do. Make them feel like a professional, even if it's a cashier, or they work for retail, or they do housekeeping, or landscaping, or simply working at a factory, whatever it is. There has to be a situation where they make decisions without having to consult it with everybody, at least not all the time. So use the concept, make decisions as a professional. All the professionals are making decisions. Make a decision today. It's better to make a decision than not to make a decision, because if you don't make a decision, it doesn't make things better. As a professional, everyone's goal is to complete a task and move on to the next one. So use this concept. It's very helpful.